Hello everyone, welcome back to the MCFC Lads Podcast. It's episode 15 and it's an episode that is following a lot of meltdown within this fan base. Now, I'm not saying that everyone is having a meltdown, but online it seems the world has ended. I was on the overlap obviously at the start of the week as well, and it seemed that everyone thinks Pep's getting sacked. What a load of garbage that is. But I'm joined with Alex.
Yeah, it's not unusual for X to overreact to defeats, so it's nothing out of the ordinary, but as usual, everyone overreacting. We'll speak about it more today, but yeah, a lot of overreactions going on at the moment, isn't there?
Yeah, well, we're here to digest it all. International break, obviously, at the moment, but we're going to talk about what happened at the weekend, what's been going on in the transfer window, loads and loads of different topics, but just a few things to start with. We'll go for the departures, Alex. Akanji, Ilkay Gundogan, Ederson, all leaving. We did mention this in the little transfer window video we did on YouTube, but we'll touch on them now, mate.
Yeah, shame they're all gone, all treble winners, so all legends of the club in some way or another, especially sort of Ederson and Gundogan. They've been here for a long time. Obviously, Gundogan's already left once. But it's a shame they've gone, but it was time for them to go, in my opinion. Ederson wanted out. I'd probably kept him for the season, but if he wants out, you've got to let him go. We've obviously replaced him with Donnarumma, who we'll go on to later. Akanji, in my opinion, was going into the season as fifth or sixth choice centre-back, so I'm not against him going. He's gone on loan for the season. Again, we mentioned more detail in the transfer video. And Gundogan, it was clear he wasn't getting any minutes this season. He was getting picked over by Nico Riley in all the games off the bench, and he didn't even make the matchday squad in some of the games so far this season. So for me, it was inevitable that he was going to leave this summer. He's gone to his boys' club Galatasaray, so very happy for him there. But yeah, what do you make of it all?
Yeah, I mean, Akanji was a great signing when he came in, really cheap. It looks like we might get a return on that money. Not that it's too important. He came in, he won the treble, he won another league title. You can't really fault him. I know he maybe wasn't in his best form last season, but the whole team was shaky. Akanji himself played, I think, the third most minutes of anyone last season, so we needed him in a bad season. And Ederson's an unbelievable goalkeeper. It's his time to move on. It's a shame, like I've mentioned on that video as well, we got blocked by him on Instagram, so it's a weird one. We didn't put anything negative up, very rarely do. Only positive stuff for him, but unfortunately I think he's just lumped that whole online situation into one big pit, which is fair enough. If I was a Premier League footballer or somebody of Ederson's standard, I wouldn't even be on social media, so I don't blame him with that at all. Donnarumma coming in, the Trafford situation we'll get to later. But like you said, a decent portion of that treble-winning squad has now left. 5 of the starting 11 are no longer with us. It is sad, but we're moving on. It's a big rebuild. And it's been a bad start, Alex. First game, everything looked so positive. Everyone was saying we were going to win the league, including pundits, other fans. And then now out of nowhere, we lose 2 games and the whole world's in a meltdown. Everyone's getting sacked, including Pep, and we're going down, and yeah, it's just ridiculous. It's very reactionary, a very reactionary world we live in, isn't it, Alex?
Yeah, I mean, what we've got to understand is this is a brand new team. It's a lot of new players gelling together, a lot of young players, and as much as we've sort of been made to believe over the last few years that it can just happen overnight because of the quality we've seen, because of the generational teams we've seen. I mean, the teams we've had in the past have been the best teams in Premier League history. That we're not going to have that every season. So you've got to understand these transfers. They're not necessarily bad transfers. They're just going to take time to gel. It's normal. But yeah, it's been a slow start to the season. The last time I remember us having this slower start, to be honest, I would say it was the 2021 season. We did go on to win the league that year. We got 4 points from our first 3 games that season. We got smacked 5-2 in our first home game of the season to Leicester. We drew at newly promoted Leeds, and everyone was in complete meltdown. By November, we were like 8th or 9th. Pep was going to leave, and then he signed new contracts and it all turned around. And there's no reason why we can't turn it around later in the season. It's still early days. In my opinion, there's a lot of positive signs, and I feel like people are moving over the positive signs. In another day, Oscar Bob gets on the end of Marmoush's cross on Sunday, puts the back of the net, we're 2-0 up, we win, everyone says that was a really good performance, that was solid, but instead he doesn't score that. They go up the other end, they get a penalty because of slightly naive defending by Mateus Nunes, and then they get control and they score. So I think there's a lot of overreaction going on in the City fan base. We've said it plenty of times already today, but I just want people to chill out. It's a young team, it's going to take time to gel. Let's just trust the process and let's let the team sort of grow together.
Yeah, like you said, very reactionary world, and I agree with everything you said. We went and got 100 points in Pep's second season. In his third season, we win a domestic quadruple, treble, whatever you want to call it. Something that, there's thunder in Manchester, so maybe the gods are disappointed people or even questioning Pep. That is a strange one. Anyway, we'll move on from the weather and continue to talk about Brighton. It was a strange one. I don't think Brighton were in the game in the first half. I really don't think that they did anything going forward. I thought we were decent. Haaland had quite a few chances. Maybe we were a little bit unlucky not to get a second goal. Oscar Bob sliding in the second half early on as well. 2-0 would have put that game to bed. We might have gone on and won that 3. Maybe 4-0 again like the Wolves game. It's a sliding doors game. It's a game that you judge on finishing your chances in. And we didn't finish our chances. Brighton get that penalty. James Milner, aged 39... or whatever he is, scores that. And like you said, we lose 2-1, very similar to last season. But we said coming out the ground, we were trying to be positive, and you said, I remember, that it was a very different fashion to lose that game in compared with last year,
yeah,
even
completely.
though it was the same result. So, yeah, I agree with what you said there. It's a disappointing one to lose, but I really don't see a need for meltdown after 3 games. We've had bad starts before. We've had bad losses before, but ultimately, I don't think we were that bad in the Brighton game. It was just the second half, the body language and stuff. Our heads went down a little bit when we conceded the equaliser, and Brighton looked more like getting that winner that they went on to get than we got of getting a second goal.
Yeah, no, completely agree with what you just said there. Like you say, overreaction rates only early on. I remember last year we'd won 3 out of 3, I think, away at West Ham. We went into the international break, and Pep said the season starts now, and it's no different this year. We've had no pre-season. The season does start now. Just because we didn't happen to get lucky and just about to get over the line in some of those games, it doesn't change anything. We've still got a long way to go. And yes, we're 6 points off the top, but anything can happen. It's a long old season.
Alex, this is crazy, mate, because as we've started filming this podcast, there was not a drop of rain, and it started absolutely hammering it down. I heard that thunder a couple of minutes ago. It's strange because we're talking about, obviously, our misfortunes at the moment, and it's just chucking it down. Mad. Anyway, the Brighton game, we move on from. Alex, the next game, the Manchester derby, it's a must-win game. The next podcast in a week's time, after this break, is kind of coming to an end, will be huge. It'll be obviously derby-themed. We've got to win that game, though. Just briefly, we've got to win that game.
Yeah, I mean, if we think the overaction now is bad, imagine we lose to Ruben Amorim's Manchester United once again. For me, at that point, that's when I started to say, right, something needs to sort itself out here, because they are crap. Like, the fact they're ahead of us now, you sort of just have to accept it. They've had Burnley at home, they scrape past them, it is what it is. But if you play against Ruben Amorim's Manchester United side 3 times and don't beat them, Pep Guardiola, that is not good. It's not good enough.
I don't think there will almost be any other team that's managed to be that bad. So, yeah, I'm positive. The derby, I'm excited for it in 2 weeks. It's a good opportunity for us to get ourselves kicking. And then the week after, obviously, we've got the Huddersfield Cup game, and we've got the Champions League game against Napoli, then Arsenal, then the Huddersfield Cup game. So we've got a lot of games coming up. We've got a chance to change our path and get a few wins under our belt, which is the main thing. But talking about the rest of the Premier League games, Alex, Liverpool obviously ended up on 9 points with that big win they got against Arsenal. Our Premier League predictions. Now, if anyone isn't aware of these, me and Alex are predicting every Premier League game this season that we can. Alex went ahead. You get points based on if you get the result, if you get the margin right, etc. And bottom line is this week, Alex, I had a pretty good week. 9-5, I beat you. Sunderland, correct score, a few correct results. But there's also a couple of results that went way differently to how we'd have expected, including the City game. But that 9-5 win for me leaves you 21-20 up.
Yeah,
so
very close.
Yeah. At the end of the season, we've decided there's going to be some sort of arrangement. We've not worked it out yet. Leave a couple suggestions below for a forfeit or a prize for the winner. But yeah, all I care about, Alex, as do you, is that we start winning games, mate. I don't really, not really too fussed about getting the other games predicted right at the moment.
Yeah, as long as we win games, get up the table, and sort ourselves out. That's what that matters at the moment.
Exactly, mate. Right, on to the quiz, Alex. We're going a little bit early with the quiz today. I currently lead 5-2, and I've had an extra week compared to you.
So I need a 3 out of 5
this
week.
This is a chance to get even or maybe ahead on the quiz. Question 1. Who are the only 2 Italians to win the Premier League? And obviously City have just signed Donnarumma, so a bit of a theme there for you, mate.
Are we speaking players here or players are managers?
This is Premier League players. Who are the only 2 Italians to win the Premier League?
Right,
so we're not including,
Mancini, Ranieri. So straight away it's Balotelli And the other one
It is Balotelli.
is Federico Chiesa.
It is. I thought you were going to say Makeda from United, but he didn't get enough games to get a medal, so he didn't officially win the Premier League. Yep, point for you there, mate. Question 2. Obviously, Akanji's just left to Inter Milan. He's given the number 25 to Donnarumma, but who was the number 25 before Donnarumma?
I assume you mean that before Akanji.
Yeah, sorry, yeah. Sorry, I'm trying to trip you up with an Akanji one there, yeah.
Is it Fernandinho?
It was. I was trying to get you on the Joe Hart
Yeah,
line,
I was thinking Joe Hart originally.
But, yeah, question 3 is a bit more difficult. I was trying to trip you up, get you on the Joe Hart line, but you've gone right with Fernandinho. This one might get you. It's a tough question, this. I'm going to admit it. City have got 3 points. It's a win and 2 losses after 3 games. Who are the other 3 teams to be in the exact same boat?
Oh, wow.
And you've got 1 life, I'll give you. I need a quick answer.
Burnley.
Yeah.
I was going to go Leeds, it's not Leeds. Brentford.
Yeah.
Oh, the last team. I'm going to get stuck here.
Somebody at home right now or in the car or wherever is desperate for you to say the answer, Alex. They know it, mate, but do you?
Oh, you know, I don't think I'd... West Ham.
Yeah, he's got it.
Oh, I'm happy with myself for that one.
Got it. Yeah.
Clutched up so far.
Question 4, is that?
That was question 3, I believe.
Question 4.
So we're on 4 now.
Question 3. So, yeah, no, this is question 4 now, is it?
Yeah, question 4 now.
Yeah. Of the last 5 times City have dropped points from winning, how many were against Brighton?
Wait, so of the last 5 times, how many of the games? Right. I'm going to go with 2.
Oh, it's 3, mate. It's 3. You should have got that one. I thought it was an open goal. We drew, obviously, at home to them in the league as well.
If I'm honest, I assumed we'd drop points from winning positions more frequently than the last game.
Yeah, I saw that stat. Somebody had that stat on Twitter. 3 times of the last 5 it was against Brighton. I think, obviously, Brighton was at the end of that bad run, though, wasn't it? So, or towards the end of it. So, yeah, fair play, mate. Not quite got that one. And then the last question is, how long is it since Man United finished above City on a Premier League game week? Because, obviously, it's just happened. How long ago is it since that last happened?
Wait, so, like, what, am I giving this in, like, years, or...?
Yeah. Just like a rough. If you get it right, I'll give you the answer, mate. I'll give you the mark.
It was like, I want to say September 2021.
Yeah, it's 4 years. 4 years will got you the mark there. So well in, mate, on that one. 4 out of 5 puts you in the lead.
Big week
for you. Puts you 6-5 up. Big score for you, mate. So that's the quiz. Let us know you did at home if you did get any of the answers in before, Alex. But that's 4 out of 5. That's a solid score. Moving on, I did just want to talk a bit about the overlap, Alex. I don't know if you've watched it, mate.
Yeah, I've seen a little bit.
So it's just a weird one. A lot of City fans asking me how I do it in terms of not getting... I was getting a bit wound up, but you go on there... The first thing you got to remember is that everyone hates City at the moment. Everyone is desperate for City to lose a game. And the media generally do like Liverpool and United a lot because generally a lot of the people that work in the media support those 2 teams. So... yeah, I do enjoy it at times. It is difficult speaking to the United fans and Liverpool and Chelsea fans because they are so happy at the moment that we're not the team we have been for the last 5-6 years. Obviously outside of last season, but yeah, it's a difficult one. You go on and I try and hit people with facts, and I do get met often with bad responses that just ultimately somebody making a joke about charges or money that we've spent. The bottom line is Liverpool have spent 450 million this summer. City haven't spent that much in the last 6 windows. People don't like to hear it. Everyone wants to question Pep. The bottom line is as well, it's wishful thinking from them. They don't want Pep Guardiola to be the City manager because deep down they know he's the man that will turn it around. They know that City will be back, and Yeah, I don't know what you make of it, Alex, but it's just a tough one. It's a tough one. Fighting City's corner generally in life, as you'll know, mate.
Yeah, I mean, we've had numerous reps on the overlap over sort of the last 2 years. I think everyone's had the same issue that they're always just going to get sort of targeted for City. And in probably the next 2 or 3 weeks, it's quite likely that you're going to have to deal with the overlap with the charges, and that's just going to be... Yeah. I mean, regardless of the outcome, it doesn't matter, because in everyone's head we are guilty. Like, even if we get found innocent on that one, you're going to be fighting people that are going to say we're guilty. So, I mean, it's a difficult game you've got, and I think you did pretty well to represent everyone. I think everyone watching this podcast would agree as well.
Yeah, I mean, the starting point is as well, you can't win. It's not like I could say anything that in anyone's head other than a City fan maybe, or a neutral, which is rare, would say, you can't win an argument in a 1v20. I just get shouted over at times. It's the nature of the beast. That's obviously what people watch. It's entertaining for some people anyway. And, I enjoy doing it, so I can't say much more than that. I enjoy fighting City's corner. We are an underdog in that sense, but it is a little bit frustrating when you just can't get your point across, or your facts get shut down, or you get asked what the City team was in 1968 when I was minus 40 or whatever I was at that point. So... yeah, it's the nature of the beast, but everyone was asking about the overlap, so I thought I'd just touch on it there. Moving on from that, Alex, we do have a lot more questions.
We do.
Questions this week. International break, obviously, but we'll make sure we answer a few of these, mate. So I'll throw a few of them your way. I tweeted out here, basically asking, we're filming the podcast, what topics you want to discuss, and leave your questions below. So if you're not tuned into any of that, make sure, obviously, you're leaving your comments on Spotify, you're leaving them on YouTube. But also, if you've got X or Twitter, whatever you want to call it, you are there to ask the questions. Pulpy, straight up. What does life look like after Pep leaves? As a fan, and what are the expectations? Alex, I'll leave that on for you to start with, mate.
I think to begin with, it probably looks quite disappointing. You think of what our fans, especially online, are like after the first 3 weeks of the season. I'd get used to this a lot more, because it's not going to be the same. No manager is ever going to be able to replicate what Pep's done, and that's why the Pep out has sort of confused me even more. But I think there'll still be success. I think it's very unlikely that we just fall off the face of the earth like a United have done. But I think it will be one Premier League every 4, maybe 3 years, and we'll win an FA Cup here and there. I equally think we'll start disappointing the Champions League a bit more. We might even... I mean, to be fair, you could argue that we could do better in the Champions League, because that's one of Pep's biggest downfalls. We've not maybe done more in Europe, but
the pressure goes a bit.
But I think it's likely that at some point within 5 years of him leaving, that it wouldn't surprise me if we don't even qualify for the Champions League. I think that's an inevitability of a club that's not managed by the greatest manager of all time. So it'll be disappointing, I think, but it won't be a complete flop. I think we'll still win trophies, we'll still win titles, but it just won't quite be the same.
What do we think of the Nunez-Rico right-back situation? Well, it's a hard one when the team's not playing well, because for me, I think they're two players that can look decent when the whole team around them plays well, and we're yet to really see that. Ultimately, we haven't signed a right-back, which is an issue, but it's not necessarily that we should be blaming these players. They're not naturally right-backs, and they are playing there. And I think they will improve as right-backs. So I think it's a hard one to talk about now. I know a lot of City fans are concerned about us not signing a right-back, but the way I see it is we need to sort of see how the season goes before we start slating him, because I don't imagine when Fabian Delph was playing left-back, Alex, at first everyone was jumping for joy.
Exactly. So, and he was one of the best in the league that season.
Exactly, we went on to get 100 points. And I think in your Pep all-time 11, did you have Fabian Delph at left-back, I think?
I think I put Ake just ahead of him, but it was a close shout.
Yeah, he's got a good shout, though, for you, yeah, and I do think he's very underrated. Chris Blue since 72 says Pep wants a small squad but 4 keepers.
Yeah, I mean, there's no way we intended on having 4 goalkeepers. I still think there's a decent chance Ortega moves on to Turkey or Saudi, to be honest, because he's not going to want to be third choice. He's going to want minutes. So I don't think it will be 4 keepers. And to be honest, if there's one position to be bloated in, it's that, because it's not going to reduce squad harmony. I mean, if Ortega does stay, he's signed up to not playing any minutes. So I'm not really concerned about that. I don't think it's much of an issue, to be honest.
Yeah, I think one of them will be on the way out. I think that'll probably be Ortega. Where do you see Nico, both Nicos fitting into the team? We have a lot of games. Harvey said it here. Again, this is the thing, right? Football is very... I don't know what the word is. I don't really know what the word is here, what I'm trying to say. Football, it's like everyone is concerned now because players aren't getting minutes, and we're 3 games. This is what I keep saying. We're 3 games into the season. 3 games out of probably 60 games. We're going to be playing every. This is the abnormal part of the season. The start of the season is the weird bit. That's when people aren't going to be getting minutes. That's when we're losing games, and that's why I'm not as concerned as other people, because we've got, like I said, about 60 games left. We're going to be playing twice a week, every 3 days. So these guys not quite getting minutes yet are going to play a lot of football, Alex.
Yeah, and the thing, I mean, within the first 2 weeks of us returning to action after the international break, we've got 5 games. I don't understand the fact that, although I'm aware that a lot of these players are probably just faking injury somewhat to get out of an international break, we've got a lot of injuries already. So when you think about when we have 2 games a week, we are going to have injuries, and so we need a somewhat big squad, and these players will all get minutes. We've got loads of competitions. The further we go, especially, the more we're going to need these players.
Yeah.
And last season, people are forgetting how light we got. We started sort of, at one point we had 0 midfield, like 2 midfields, whatever, so we were playing Akanji in defensive midfield. Like, it just, we need more numbers, and we've got more numbers now. Injuries will happen. We've got loads of games coming up, so for me, all these players, they'll feature, they'll have a part to play.
Nav has just replied, Cousinov in full caps, and I do agree. I thought it was decent against Brighton.
I thought it was very solid.
I don't know about you. He was a little bit rash with a couple of challenges, but I like that he's got that hunger to make a challenge and cut up their play. He's very, very young. He's electric pace. That recovery he made, I thought was very, very good. Yeah, Cousinov, it's one. I think he's definitely going to be a big player for us. I don't know whether right back might be an option for him. I remember him playing at the Bernabeu pretty well. Actually shining in a very bad performance last season. So I think he will get more minutes, and whether he plays a bit of right back, Alex, I'm not sure.
Yeah, I mean, he's absolutely rapid, like you said, and I thought it was a very good performance against Brighton. I think he was slightly to blame for the penalty intensive. It was a stupid challenge, but he's young, he's going to make mistakes, he'll cut that out eventually. I think we look more solid in defence as a result of him being there, because every time they played the ball over the top, instead of just our defenders hopelessly chasing fast attackers, he was recovering it every time. So for me, I think he should be in the team at the moment. I think he deserves that chance. But yeah, we've got a great player on our hands, and I guarantee that in the next 3 or 4 years he'll be a mainstay in the team.
Somebody here, Keane, has said, what do you make of the Daily Mail gaslighting Liverpool and painting City as rich clubs? He says, the article reads, how Liverpool's American owners saw off Gulf juggernauts of Man City and Newcastle. What a strange headline that is. I mean, again, it's just a natural reaction from the media that support Liverpool and United. It's as simple as that. They don't like the fact that Newcastle and City potentially could compete with them financially, or can compete with them financially. It's just boring at this point, is what I'd say.
Yeah, we've seen it all before. We're always going to get picked on. It's just how it is. Newcastle experiencing exactly what we've already experienced. It's inevitable. It's only going to get worse as the charges sort of go on, and when they're eventually announced, regardless of the outcome, either we're going to be confirmed cheats or we're going to be cheats and we just paid our way out of it. So, I mean, it's just nothing we can do about it, to be honest. Just ignore it.
James has asked, what do we make of Donnarumma rejecting United? At the end of the day, we always knew that was going to be the case. Why would he want to sign for a club that are in the bottom half of the Premier League, that aren't in Europe, that don't have the ambition to go and win a league title, to get in the Champions League? They signed, what's he called, Lemons, something like that?
Yeah.
They were never getting a Champions League winning goalkeeper, and ultimately it's what they needed. I understand Donnarumma does have reasonably high wages, but for the transfer fee of 26 million when they were spending 20 anyway, they definitely wanted Donnarumma. There was reports all summer that United were looking at Donnarumma, and now obviously we've got him. So that's good news anyway, isn't it?
Yeah, really. So the only way he's ever going to go there is if we just weren't interested, no one else wanted him, and they were going to pay him the big bucks, but that was never going to happen. So yeah, it's no surprise he's chosen us.
To avoid you doing the overlay, Alex, I've just presented a tremendous bit of meme to the camera, which is a Jimmy Grimble.
Oh, classic.
Donnarumma, little collab.
If you don't know Jimmy Grimble, then get to know.
Jimmy Grimble, get watching it now, especially ahead of the derby as well.
Yeah, classic.
What a film. Anyway, we'll move on from the community questions, Alex, and we're just going to talk just to finish about the transfer window. How do you think it's gone? If I ask you now to rate it out of 10, what would you go with?
I think I'd go with a 7, pushing on a 7.5. I think it's been underrated by a lot of City fans on the sole basis that our business was done very early. But I think there's been a lot of good transfers.
It's such a hard one. I mean, if somebody had asked us to judge our business a few years ago when we won the treble, everyone would have been saying different. I think everyone would have said it was a decent window, but who'd have known Haaland would have been as good as he was? Who'd have known Calvin Phillips not performing the way we wanted him to? Who would have seen Akanji being as good as he was? It's so reactionary. It's so... Yeah, I've had this whole theory about Liverpool the entire time as well. I've never seen somebody go for this Galactico-style approach and it pay off. I don't know about you. I'm not denying they're unbelievable signings, but this idea that Liverpool are going to win the league by 20 points and win the quadruple, I just don't see it personally. I really, really just do not see it.
Yeah, I think for them what will be the big loss, they've not got Mark Guehi. I think they did need an extra centre-back because they are light in that position.
Yeah.
I think Kanate went off injured, I believe, against Arsenal on Sunday, and after that they've got Joe Gomez in Leone, and Joe Gomez isn't reliable at all, so I think they might end up missing a centre-back. Their front line is frightening and they're going to score loads and loads of goals this season. But the Arsenal game, they might have looked good defensively, but the other two games they've looked very shaky defensively, so they're there to be got out. They're definitely not unbeatable. I think they are the favourites to the title this year. It was a good window for them, but I think, like you say, by no means they're going to run away with this league unless the other teams just completely flop this season.
Capitulate, yeah. I think it's a tough one because they're already 6 points clear, and the whole media agenda again is that Liverpool are going to run away with this. They've spent 450 million though. It's Jurgen Klopp said 3 years ago that Liverpool can't do what City do, go and sign. It's exactly what they have done.
Yeah, Slot said it 12 months ago.
A lot last summer. Say it again. Was it 12 months ago as well?
Slot said it the exact same thing 12 months ago. So
Slot said it. Oh wow, yeah. Well, it's exactly what we expect from Liverpool. It's hypocrisy. Nobody wants to see City succeed, and everyone it's the media darling situation with Liverpool. It's frustrating as a City fan, but we know that's the reality. Ultimately, all we can do is be the underdogs. That's what we are. We're 9-1 to win the league title after 3 games, which is insane. And ultimately, Alex, we've just got to keep rolling. It's going to be a very tough season. If we do somehow go and win this league, it would be an unbelievable achievement. But this idea that City are going to finish outside the top 4 underneath United is absolute garbage. It's just not true, is it?
Yeah, no, it's absolutely not. I mean, we'll definitely finish with United. I said at the start of the season, I don't think we'd win the league. I still don't think we will, but nothing's changed in the last 3 weeks. I just don't think we're quite there yet. But I think the important thing for us is make sure we're there or thereabouts, keep ourselves in the race, and sort of if we can hit a form from February onwards, who knows? If we go on one of those runs, we will be there or thereabouts. And if not, then if you can hit form late in the season, if it can all click by then you give yourselves a very good chance of winning a Champions League. We saw PSG last year, a really, really poor team up until they played us in January, and afterwards they were unstoppable and they won the Champions League. And at the end of the day, if we came second or third this season and won a Champions League, I don't think anyone's going to be complaining. So we just got to be there or thereabouts.
Every single Pep Guardiola team at City, every single one of them has kicked on in the second half and performed better in the second half of the season,
including last year.
The first half. It's as simple as that. Including last year. Even the Centurion season, which was a bit of an anomaly, we still were decent at the end. We got to 100 points. His first season, I remember that game against Watford at the end, absolutely smashing them and looking unbelievable. So every single season we kick on in the running. That's what we'll do again this season, without a doubt. We're 3 games in. I keep saying it. Just keep remembering, City fans out there, we are 3 games into the season. There's 35 league games left, 104, 105, whatever it is, more points left to play for. It's going to be all right. Trust me, it's going to be all right. We need players gelling. We've got new coaches. We've not got new coaching methods. Like Rodri said after the game, it's rookie, child, kid mistakes, whatever you want to call it at the moment. And that needs to change. That does need to change. But it's not worthy, in my eyes, of a full-on meltdown. I really don't see it.
Yeah, I don't think what we've watched has been the same issues as last season, and that's what would have concerned me if I was watching this team and I was thinking it's the same thing all over again. It's completely different, and what we're seeing at the moment, the issues are, it's a lack of cohesion in the team, it's a lack of sort of just knowing where to be. It's just stupid mistakes, and as much as that's very, very frustrating, it's almost a good thing because it means that it's so easy to fix, and I think the fixes will be there. I think Pep will learn what the players need, what the players are suited to, and the players will learn what Pep wants. And I really think this team will be special. I think we've seen glimpses of it against Juve in the Club World Cup, against Wolves.
Yeah.
We've seen glimpses that this team can beat anyone and can be a very, very good team to watch. And I do think we'll be there or thereabouts, at least in one of the big competitions, the Champions League or the Premier League. I think we'll be in with a shout of one of them. So I just don't think write us off yet. I think in some ways it benefits this team being underdogs for now.
Don't buy it. All I'll say is don't buy it. The media don't want City to succeed, so the media will paint a picture that City are having a meltdown. Don't buy it. Trust me, do not buy it, because if you're not hearing not just me, there's other City fans you can listen to. Your mate down the pub, your dad, your brother, whoever. If those people aren't saying it's a disaster, everything's going to die and the world's going to explode, don't listen to it, because the media will. I mean, just write it down on paper. You have a manager that has 4 Premier League titles in a row, 6 in 7 years he did, and then has a season where he comes third out of 20 teams. You look at Pep Guardiola's record, he's an unbelievable manager. He's the best manager of all time, and for anyone to be saying that it's him at fault, and ultimately it's his team that aren't succeeding, so he is partly to blame for a short spell of failure, but anyone saying that this guy is not the man to take us to the top again is silly. Alex, I think you'll agree with that.
By the way, just before we end up finishing off, I just want to say, I've seen a lot of people say as well, Pep's never been in this position and he's never had to rebuild a team before. And the funny thing that I've found about that is, I remember hearing all these exact same things at the start of the COVID season 2021. The sort of Centurion of the mid-ball team, it was starting to get split up. David Silva was gone, Aguero was coming to the end, Company was gone, and Torre was gone. They were saying, he doesn't know how to rebuild a team, he's done, he's finished, they've started the season slow, it's just not going to work out. And guess what? He rebuilt the team, and now people are saying the same thing again. And it's like the treble team was not the same team that the Centurions were, or the Formidables. They were a completely different team. Half the squad was different. Yep. The system was different. The way we played was different. The Centurions did not have 4 centre-backs in defence. It's like Pep invents himself, he reinvents himself, and he will do it again. I have absolutely no doubts about that.
I got collared on the overlap by Jamie Carragher as well. Pep even said last season that maybe his play style isn't the modern football. Is it outdated? And again, they're just trying to get a quote. They're trying to get a remark for me saying that Pep's, out of date or whatever. Nonsense. Absolute nonsense. This guy is a genius. He's an absolute genius. He's got 2 new coaches that he needs to get used to, Linders and Colo Torre. He's got half a squad of new players. And like you said, Alex, it's a rebuild. Nobody wants this team to succeed more than Pep Guardiola, and I'm sure. It sounds mad we're even having this conversation after 3 games, because it feels like the sort of one we were having after, that big disaster last year. We've had a game against Wolves where we were unbelievable. We've had a game against Tottenham where we were very subpar, I'd say. And a game against Brighton where we looked okay and then it sort of fell apart. So, 3 games in. We could go and win 10 on the bounce. It's football. That's how football is. I'm not saying we will, but that's how football works. It's a very reactionary game. We got to go and beat United. We've then got a game against Arsenal that will really test us, and obviously a Champions League game, a cup game. We've got that ability now to bounce back after 3 games. We're going to have more rhythm, more minutes in everyone's legs, more time on the pitch, more time on the training pitch, and ultimately, Alex, we'll be back. I have no doubt about it, mate.
Yeah, 100%. We will be back.
So, it's crazy we've had to go into that much depth about all that stuff so early in the season. Please don't have a meltdown, guys. Leave a comment for sure with your thoughts about what's going on. Make sure you share the pod on as well. If you're listening on Spotify, make sure you're following us, because we're trying to grow on there as well. And anyone on YouTube as well, please consider just jumping on Spotify, tapping in MCFC Lads Podcast, and giving us a follow. I appreciate the support, and as does Alex.